not really.
One of the biggest problems today is the balance between fiscal spending and taxation. Is it better to increase taxes or lower government spending?
Alright, basically with taxation on everybody, there's two different sides. You can tax the rich more, you can tax the poor less. That's the progressive tax, which we're going to mention in a little bit. But when you tax the progressive system, pretty much you're saying, well, if you make more money, then you should get taxed more. And in a true democracy, if that's what we're trying to achieve, how is that a true democracy? Because democracy is fair, if according to what we've been reading, and a fair, balanced tax system is not taxing more to people who make more. It just doesn't seem like that's a true democracy. And also people are saying, well, I think there should be changes in taxation, and it's kind of ironic because everyone will say they want change, but they don't want change if it affects them. As long as it doesn't affect me, then I'm good. That's pretty much the mentality that we have today, and it's not going to work.
Should definitely increase taxes on the rich because there'll be more money in the government to spend on the poor and the common people, and that's what democracy is about, being for the common people. And if everyone's paying the equal percentage of money, everyone's taxed the equal percent, then it will be pretty much fair because no one is against it.
Why?
So aside from spending, aside from taxes, we also have spending. Now, government spending right now, this makes up. We're battling the budget deficit right now. There's like a constant raising of the debt ceiling that's been going on, and we have basically the most amount of our fiscal spending going to defense, education, and healthcare. Now, the thing is, we need to cut down on this because this is going to affect everyone, but it's going to affect them greater than taxes. Raising taxes is a good way, but people generally do tend to shy away from that. So by cutting spending in, say, defense, which is easily one of the largest, we're able to sort of approach the debt ceiling much slower and gradually, so we'll have more time to balance out our economic issues. What bothers me, though, is that we are spending so much on defense, and that other things like smaller social programs are really getting left out. I think education is definitely one of the most important, which is why it has been raising its percentage lately, although this is just occurring gradually. They are making cuts, so I think right now they're balancing on, because like Obama's closing, they have the end of his ideas, where those who are making above $250,000 are getting taxed more than the poor. So this is because he believes that those who are making this money are considered the upper class, those households, so that they can afford these tax raises.
Is the problem that the rich is just getting richer while the poor and the middle class are being stationary, or is the poor not searching enough for jobs?
There are jobs out there for the poor, but the poor just don't want them. That's why the vast majority of jobs that pay like low wages are acquired by illegal immigrants and stuff, because no one else is going to take the jobs. And also, too many kids are going to college today. Like, not every single kid that goes to high school and a senior and graduates needs to go to college. Only 1/3 of kids should enter college. The remaining majority should go to community colleges, career colleges, trade schools, or directly to the workforce, because there's not enough people specializing in like blue-collar jobs and stuff. That's why people are complaining that there's no jobs, but they're going to school, getting $40,000 in debt, and then coming out to jobs that everyone wants because our standards are so high, but no one, like, there's not enough opportunities for it. Currently, there are 80,000 bartenders, 19,000 parking lot attendants in America with bachelor degrees or more. There's 300,000 restaurant servers with degrees, 8,000 with master's, doctorates, or other professional degrees that have just like common day jobs. And this is on top of having debt and then having a common job and not being able to pay it all off.
So the problem isn't that people aren't looking for jobs, it's morale of the people of America. We feel that our system doesn't work to help the lower classes, especially with trickle-down policies where the economics believe that if you cut spending, if you cut taxes for the rich, then they'll have more money to invest in businesses, create lower priced goods, and that more spending will happen, creating more jobs. That's simply not the case. It's not that we're not looking for jobs, it's just that there really aren't enough jobs. The percentages of outsourcing has greatly increased. Anytime you call any type of electronic company, I'm sure everyone knows that you have someone in a different country speaking, and that's really, decreasing morale. College students don't want their jobs to go abroad, they want to work in the United States. Is that really too much to ask for?
The middle class remains stationary, and the rich are basically getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. But nowadays, there's not really a gap between, well, there's a big gap actually between rich and the poor. There's not really a middle class anymore. One thing that has been occurring, like in New York City, is Occupy Wall Street. Occupy Wall Street is a leaderless, resistant movement with people of many colors, genders, and political persuasions. The thing that they all have in common is that we are all 99%, and we are fighting to no longer tolerate the greed and corporation of the 1%. We are also using non-violent protests, like in the book that we read, Tweets for It. Yep. Basically, we're tweeting, having people meet up, and protesting, but it's going to all be non-violent. In today's society, do you think it's more of an oligarchy or democracy?
I think it's for sure more of an oligarchy, just if we look at the people in power, because what does having power really mean? It means that, those who are wealthy can pay people or can pay lobbyists to do their work, to sort of influence the way our government is run to benefit their businesses, to create laws that benefit their businesses. Some of the biggest lobbyists are from gun control, gun companies, from tobacco companies, and if we look at the way our politicians run for elections, a lot of them start off with their own huge wealth, and especially now with the creation of things like super PACs, they're pretty much going around our constitutional laws, and it becomes, I personally believe, a race between who has the bigger wallet.
We're definitely more an oligarchy, even though we do have some democratic principles and foundations of our government. We still are controlled by the wealthy. They're the only ones who really are in power, even though we can go to the assembly and vote or whatever and participate. But the vast majority of people don't participate in government because they don't think it'll help, it'll matter, it will help them in any way or form. And one year we actually elected a Senate who died before he was in office, so that just shows how much political efficacy the people have in America, because they don't think the government will help them out because they're controlled by the rich who just write off everything and have investments and make money like it's nothing.
Definitely think we've been more of an oligarchy than democracy. The thing about democracy is it's really never going to happen. Human beings are naturally greedy, and this false sense of democracy is like altruism is on everybody, and that's not going to work. No one is going to help everyone out. There's no one that's going to give up, that's going to say, oh, you rather give out your money than take, $1 million or donate. It's a false sense of altruism, democracy, and I don't think it's ever going to work. We're never going to have a true one. It's always going to be a form of an oligarchy. There's just no way around it.